Hmm, this math test is very challenging. These multiple choice questions, I could circle them. Should I circle A? Should I circle B? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Hopefully I get a good mark on this as it really matters to my university. Wow, this English essay on philosophy is really difficult. I have no idea what I'm writing about, I'm just kinda yapping as what they say. What should I write about next? This is not as easy as my math test. Am I really gonna make it to my university? Oh no! Alright, well that math test wasn't too hard. Let's see what I got. 100? I can't believe it! I studied so hard and I got 100. Maybe I'll really get into my dream university. Wow! Alright, well I didn't do too good on an English assignment, I think. But hopefully I did not get a 0%. Anything is better than a 0%. Let's see what I got. I'm feeling good! No! What am I gonna do about university? I'm scared!
Culminating's philosophical journey.
Ever since I started school, I always believed that science would explain all my questions in the universe. I mean, why wouldn't I? Science explains the concept of gravity, motion, light, sound, and so much more. In school, we're told to answer multiple choice questions with clear answers that are either right or wrong. I would even intentionally take courses like physics, biology, chemistry, and math, knowing that I could study the right answer. But even when taking humanity courses, I'm always instructed to take the perspective of one side instead of discussing the middle ground. Ever since I learned how to do persuasive writing, we were only allowed to pick a clear yes or no response to the essay prompt. I remember being explicitly told to never take the middle ground, which led me to never consider it as well. This binary perspective instilled in me by my education has become a fundamental belief in my philosophical ideology. Even outside of the academics, there is also a correct way to perform music. When playing classical music, I'm told to play exactly what is written on the sheet music, to a T, straight from the charts, and I would risk what the composer intended. In contrast, when I was introduced to jazz music, I remember my teacher Mr. Chang telling me to play just whatever feels right. I felt lost without having direct instructions. I didn't even know what was right or wrong. Little did I know, jazz music has a middle ground for what is considered right and wrong. There was no rule book, and I was able to improvise my heart out. Technically, there are no wrong notes, even if you play out of key and off beat, but playing perfectly in key and on beat ruins what jazz stands for: self-expression through experimental music. Playing jazz had made me begin to question my ways of thinking, as jazz does not fit neatly into these binaries. I'd also like to add that I got the Albert Campbell MVP Music Award, and I feel like this could be contributed to my philosophical growth, as I'm now not thinking black and white and able to improv really confidently. So I'd like to thank you, Mr. Shum, for that.
I'm going to miss playing the rhythm section with this person because I had a lot of opportunities this year. Getting to play right next to him, I can tell you this person is a person of intense musical integrity. And I think you know who it is. It's Dan here.
Taking English this year has further helped break my binary methods of thinking by introducing me to philosophy. Prior to this class, I had no idea what philosophy was, and to be honest, I really didn't care about learning it, as my interests were in STEM. After taking this course, I found that the philosophy is the study of the nature of knowledge, reality, and existence, which goes against my previous scientific mindset. Philosophy contradicts my scientific beliefs as it questions the law that science is founded on. For example, science may believe that love is an emotion that is all about hormones and chemical changes in the body. But philosophy might discuss love by breaking it down into different types, questioning cultural influences, or discussing how love can be the driving force of life. Philosophy can even question if love truly exists. Being introduced to philosophy complicated my understanding of the world, with there being multiple right answers or multiple wrong answers, and even a middle ground. My perception was further challenged when I participated in the Hamlet class discussion, as I was now actively engaging with philosophical thinking. During these discussions, we would debate on philosophical questions. One of these questions we discussed in class was, is truth relative? This was a challenging question. Not only was I forced to take on a philosophical way of thinking which was unnatural to me, but I was told to question my beliefs in the truth of science. The conversation sparked a shift in my thinking. I realized that even scientific facts can be interpreted differently, and I started to question if absolute truths exist at all. When learning about the story of Hamlet, I faced even more questions that required a more nuanced method of thinking. When reading Hamlet, I was introduced to the question of Hamlet's insanity and whether or not it was real. In the beginning, using my scientific worldview, I would have believed that Hamlet could only be one or the other. Using a scientific approach, I could observe that Hamlet is behaving abnormally. The scientific approach includes using observable evidence to form conclusions. In this case, Hamlet's outward behavior indicates his insanity. However, with my stronger philosophical basis now, I hypothesized that Hamlet fits in neither category, because sanity can be determined by more than just observable evidence. This is because observable evidence is not always what it appears when you consider a person's motive and history behind their behavior. Hamlet only seems crazy, but he may be acting the role of a crazy person to uncover the truth behind the murder of his father, under the guise of insanity. By using a philosophical approach, I began to question my beliefs that Hamlet was insane, and now believe that his sanity lies somewhere in the middle ground between sane and insane. Being able to understand Hamlet's insanity by using a more nuanced approach makes the story way more complex and enjoyable, as it challenges my thinking and adds layer to the stories in a way that categorical thinking could not have. All in all, I've come a long way from my STEM background of everything needing to either be right or wrong. Learning jazz, taking this English course, and studying Hamlet has led me to ask questions involving the concepts of philosophy. Prior to taking my philosophical journey, if I was told to answer what is considered good and what is considered evil, I would have handed you a list of good actions versus evil actions, such as donating to charity is good and murder is evil. Now, when given the same questions again, I would start to question why I believe those actions are good or evil. What if I was put into a situation where my only way out of a predicament was to commit murder? Would that be justified under morality? I don't have a firm answer because morality is a subjective concept that can change depending on an individual's circumstances. I no longer have a clear understanding of what is good and what is evil, as I now do not have a clear understanding of morality. I don't mind this because I'm now able to ask questions to help me understand instead of using my form of black and white reasoning, which placed immediate moral judgment and limited my understanding of other people. So, you may ask, what is the point, Bunnyhen? You didn't even answer the question. What is good and what is evil? What is the answer to any of the philosophical questions I've come across? I don't know, but I'm starting to ask the right questions to figure it out. I wouldn't be asking these questions without having learned philosophy, and I'm glad I am now.